This video is to share a meditation that I use in order to connect with the void and tap into working with demonic entities and ascension, ultimate selves, evolution, self-evolution. So I will start with the meditation. So in the beginning, I would recommend doing this in a seated position. You can kind of do it anywhere. I recommend doing it at home or in a quiet area. So you begin with using the symbol of the Baphomet. So you do this, right? Can't see my hands, but you know what I'm. So you do this. And if you want to say, I say Agios o Azarate or Agios o Chabajoth. Depending upon how I'm feeling, I let my intuition guide me with that. The 11-headed dragon. And then from there, I bring my hands in, and then my two fingers here, I see a black flame from my middle finger. I guess you could use any finger. I use the middle. And it's like a candle that's lit, right? This is the candle, and it's like a flame right here on the finger. You see it, you imagine it, and when you say Agios o Azarate, you intone that. Sorry. This is like the third video I've made. I want to be clear with everything. And so after that, you hold the flame. And then to ignite, what you're going to do next is ignite your 3 dantian, the 3 energy centers. And you have the upper dantian, the middle dantian, and the lower dantian. The upper dantian, and you can actually research this online to get a better idea of where the dantian is. The upper dantian is here. Now it's going to be inside of your head. So basically, if you had these 2 points around here, like these 2 points right here, meet these 2 points in the middle of your head, inside, that's where the flame would be lit, right? So what you want to do is, and it's the same for each other, like the middle dantian, the same thing, inside, this like this in front of you, back of you, and then and then the lower dantian. Lower dantian is beneath the belly button, 3.5 fingers. That's where your lower dantian is. So then what you want to do is ignite that flame. Use this flame like you're lighting one candle with the other. So you're putting this flame in here, and you're lighting that candle, and it kind of engulfs inside. What I mean is like the black light covers everything. However, it's only like the black flame is the candle inside that's still kind of burning. It's just one flame inside in the middle, but it's the light, the black light is everywhere, right? It's like inside of like all of your head. Then you go down and do the same thing. You light this one, the middle dantian, then you light the lower dantian. And then from there, you go into, after they're lit, you do not combine the flames. You do not engulf yourself in the black flame. You just let the 3 burn, right? And then from there you go into, you're going to connect with the abyss. And when you connect with the abyss, the void, the ain, the primal, whatever you want to call it. So you're floating in the waters of the abyss. And you're like a sponge, or like I like to imagine like a bag of tea or something like that, right? So what happens when a sponge is inside of water? It becomes the water. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the water is in the sponge, and the sponge is in the water. So that's what you're going to be. You're going to be in the waters of the abyss, and the waters of the abyss are going to be inside of you. So you can actually even use this as a mantra. I am one with the abyss. The abyss is one with me. And you just float, like you're floating in the waters, and everything is just kind of like it's permeating you, and you're becoming one with it. It's like I said, like a bag of tea. When you're making like hot tea, you're steeping the bag of tea into the water. It blends together. You know what I'm saying? It's like from the essence of the tea leaves spread into the water. The water goes into the tea leaves, or a sponge. I kind of like use both imageries if you need to. I do. And then from there, you become one with it, and you're just this floating you're the void. Basically, you become one with the void. You are the void. And I use this technique in order to connect with, when I do my channeling with different entities. This is how I connect with them. This is how I just kind of, you can use it as a really quick meditation to kind of center yourself. Sometimes when I do the three flames, they burn at different heats. Sometimes I'll feel this one hotter than up here. Honestly, I don't really know why that is. I haven't really figured that part out yet. Whatever. So I don't know if it's like if I need to work on that part more, or if it's like that part, more energy is going into that part, or that part's stronger. I'm not really sure, but something's happening there. Sometimes it's up here, sometimes it's up here. I've had it a couple times down in my lower dantian too, but mainly it's like goes back and forth up here between the head and the chest area. And so from there, I call into the void, like in my mind. Sometimes I say it. I don't think it really matters, but I call for whatever entity I want to work with, and then like if I want to work with, lately I've been working with Kemetiel. Kemetiel is from, you can do research on Kemetiel. It's Qemetiel, and there's a lot of history there. So I would talk. It's in the Sitra Atra. I would definitely recommend reading that book and getting into that. You can also it's part of the Qliphoth, so you can. I think he's said to be the original devil. Whenever the first shell was, I'm still reading all that stuff too. But I've been working with him, so I'm learning from him as well. And he's actually like igniting my inner selves. So I'm going to that next. So when I work with different entities, man, one of the first things that I do is when I ritual empowering all of my alternate selves in order to be able to bring in and encompass this entity to the most benefit as much as I can, right? So what I do is I do a ritual to empower myself and all my alternate selves, and then that night, normally it hasn't failed. I don't think there's been a night that I've done like an empowerment of all of my alternate selves ritual to where like that night craziness is going on. Either out of my AC unit behind me, I can hear voices in the wind of the blowing, and it's like talking, or I can see images. My higher self is just sending images to myself, or whatever alternate self it is just like images, And I have to, if I don't get it out, I can't sleep that night. So I have to figure out a way to get that out. Whatever, if I'm seeing images, I draw them. And then I can kind of actually connect with whatever's happening, whatever aspect of my alternate self is communicating with me the most. That's the one, that I write down things. Sometimes it's words, sometimes it's whatever. You'll see. Also, my belief on alternate selves is I've come across several books, several videos, several articles, people talking about different amounts of alternate selves that you have. I believe, now some people say 3, some people say 4, there's like different amounts. However, I believe that we have thousands of alternate selves. Like, I don't think that we're restricted by our alternate selves. I think that there are so many of them, like interdimensional selves, and these are dimensions that we can only imagine now. And maybe in another dimension, I am a fucking piece of dirt or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, but all these alternate selves are a part of us. In a different dimension, I'm whatever, and we're all connected by this, this huge web of whatever. I would say even like the abyss, the primordial essence that still links us all together, because we are all part of the all, right? So we're all still the same. But so if anybody says that, like, we all have alternate selves, even in this universe, like in this plane of existence, like if anybody says they're the same all the time, they're full of shit. If they're just trying to run game because they're trying to control other people. It's all control, basic human need. If I'm at home, I act differently than I do if I'm at the grocery store, or I act differently than I do if I'm at work. If someone says they're 100% all the time, I don't masturbate at work or fuck my girlfriend at work, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's things you can't fucking do in public. And this is like when you meet somebody new, you act a certain kind of way. You don't act like you've known them for years, because you haven't known them for years. So there's like a certain other self that you're creating to accommodate with this person, and they're doing the same thing. The same thing happens with entities. And anytime you work with the new entity, you're melding with them. You're creating another alternate self of yourself, and so you're empowering yourself. That's where the empowerment's coming from, in my opinion. So then this is how you grow, right? And so they show you aspects of yourself that you need to work on or whatever, right? So like all that kind of stuff. So the first thing that I always do when working with the new entity is, not always, I'm not going to say always, but mainly what I do, even if it's not ritual, I ask them to empower aspects of my alternate selves, like all aspects. And then it's a good way to start for me. Let me see. I think that's maybe ascension and evolution. Ascension is consistent; it's always happening. There is no end to ascension. There is no end to evolution. It's constantly going up and down and up and down. And I only say up and down because, just to kind of put it in your head, one is not better. Up is not better than down. White is not better than black. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like constant evolution. It's like this ball that's always moving around and happening, and we're growing. You know, it's like almost like a chi ball. When you create a chi ball, you can make it grow as it expands. It's the same kind of thing. It's like we are the energy center of the chi ball. You know, and cool. Thanks for watching. This video is kind of longer than I normally like to make them because I'm not that popular yet. I don't want to lose any viewers, so I'll try to keep them a little short. Hope this helps somebody. All right, take it easy.